Same kind of game, but now we're going to work with what kind of sevenths are in chords. So we'll just go through these and then I'll point out something that will help you remember them. Okay, so remember the root going down to the seventh, if it's a half step down, it's a major seventh. If the root goes down to the seventh and it's a whole step down, that's called a minor seventh. And if it goes down 3 half steps or 1.5 whole steps, it's called the diminished seventh. Now, that's just the quality that we give the name to the distance between the root and the seventh. That's different than the chord names. So, for instance, a dominant 7th chord, we learned from the last video, has a major triad in it, but the distance from the root down to the 7th is a whole step, and so that's a minor 7th. So the dominant chord has a major triad and a minor 7th. Do you see how it's not called a minor 7th chord? These are the names of the sevenths describing the distance, okay? A minor 7 chord, we remember, has a minor triad in it, but what kind of 7th does it have in it? You go down a whole step, it has a minor 7th as well, okay? How about a half diminished 7th chord? Well, it's got a diminished triad in it, but if you go down to the root, from the root, to the 7th, it's a minor 7th. It's like they all have minor 7ths. Well, that's almost true. The major 7th chord has a major triad and a major 7th, half step down, okay? The diminished 7th chord has a diminished triad and a diminished 7th, or 3 half steps down. So I want you to see here that almost all the chords have minor 7ths on them. Just the major 7th chord has a major 7th in it, and the diminished 7th chord has a diminished 7th in it. That means that the minor 7th, the major 7th, and the diminished 7th chords all tell you what they have, both triad and 7th in them. These two are hybrids here. Dominant has a major triad, but it has a minor 7th. Think of it like these two had a baby. Body looks like this, but the 7th looks like the mom, like there. Okay, maybe that's not the best analogy, but you get the idea. It's a hybrid between these two. It has a major triad like the major 7th chord, but it has a minor 7th like the minor 7th chord. And in an alternate timeline, yes, we'll say that, alternate reality rather than just, you know, having babies with multiple other people. If minor 7th chord and diminished 7th chord had a baby in an alternate timeline, then it would be a half diminished 7th chord, having a diminished triad for the body, but a minor 7th looking like its mother up top there. Okay? All right, so just remember that if it's not major 7th and not diminished 7th, they all have minor 7ths in them. Let's try it a couple times, and then we'll move on and see if we can put this together. All right? All right. Half diminished 7th chord. Well, it's not major or diminished, so it's a minor 7th, or a whole step down to the 7th from the root. Major 7th chord. That's the one that's got the major 7th in it. How about the dominant 7th chord? It's got a major triad, but it's got a minor 7th. Okay? Minor 7th chord. That's also got a minor 7th in it. Whole step down from the root. And the diminished 7th chord has a diminished 7, which is 3 half steps down. One more time, and then we'll move on to another video. Oh boy, oh boy. Here we go. Minor 7th has a minor 7 chord. Major 7, has a major 7th, not chord, major 7th, right? Minor 7. Dominant 7 has a minor 7th in it. Half diminished 7th has a minor 7th in it. And the diminished 7th chord has a diminished 7. Okay, moving on.